to by the new Pharaoh's Lounge Kickstarter. Make some lineups, bitches. Commanders, Giants, we're all over it. I gotta take a lunch break. Top 6 cards on the deck: Barkley, McLaurin, Howell, Jones, Taylor, Robinson. Huh. Saquon Barkley, limited participant Thursday. The Giants are managing Barkley's workload after he took 28 touches in a 14-9 loss to the Bills on Sunday in his first week back from a 2-game absence. He should be ready for a huge role again Sunday against Washington. Having told reporters Thursday he's avoided any setbacks with the ankle injury. He broke the fucking slate in that goddamn game. Scary Terry McLaurin brought in 6 of 11 targets for 81 yards in the Commanders' win over the Falcons on Sunday. McLaurin set the pace in all major receiving categories for the Commanders for the afternoon, with his receptions and yardage totals serving as his second highest of the season and his highest target tally in a new high watermark over the first 6 games. Veteran wideout's overall fantasy ceiling is likely being capped to an extent by the limitations being placed on Sam Howell as he traverses his first Bills season as starter. Up McLaurin will still take a solid 31-342 line into a Week 7 road divisional matchup versus the Giants. Sam Howell is on the board. Sad Sam completed 14 of 23 passes for 151 yards with 3 touchdowns and no interceptions in Sunday's win over the Falcons. He rushed 4 times for 3 yards. Howell's passing yardage totals weren't anything to write home about, but he more than makes up for it with his trio of scoring tosses. 2 of those went to running backs, as Howell connected with Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson in second and third quarters, respectively. Howell sandwiching those touchdown throws around a 7-yard strike to Curtis Samuel. Howell now has a 5-1 ratio over his last 2 games and draws a favorable matchup against the Giants on the road in Week 7. So Brian Robinson. Gibson is on the board. Samuel. Curtis Samuel is on the board. Daniel Jones, listed as questionable for Sunday's game against the Commanders. Mike Garafolo of the NFL Network suggests Jones may be on the wrong side of questionable after coach Brian Daboll revealed Friday morning that the quarterback hadn't been cleared for contact. It sounds like he'll come down to a medical doctor's decision ahead of Sunday's kickoff, rather than being a matter of pain management or something that's left up to Jones. If he's out for a matter of a second straight week, Tyrod Taylor will make another start after nearly leading the Giants to an upset of the Bills last Sunday. It won't be surprising if an announcement comes before Sunday morning, though for now fantasy managers should treat Jones as a potential game-time decision. Huh. Questionable. The wrong side of questionable. He ain't fucking playing. Tyrod Taylor completed 24 of 36 passes for 200 yards with no touchdowns or turnovers while adding 24 rushing yards on 5 attempts in Sunday's loss to the Bills. Taylor stepped in for injured starter Daniel Jones, finishing. All right, that was right. They mentioned Tyrod Taylor. Taylor stepped in for the injured starter Daniel Jones, finishing with a rather poor fantasy line in the narrow loss. The veteran quarterback also made an uncharacteristic mental blunder with the ball on the Bills' goal line with seconds left in the first half, audibling to a Saquon Barkley rushing attempt that was stuffed for no gain. The Giants did not have any timeouts left, so the clock expired and the Giants came away with no points, something which played heavily into the team's decision-making on their final drive of the fourth quarter, when they needed a touchdown to win, not a field goal. Jones' status for Week 7's matchup against Washington is still up in the air, and the 34-year-old Taylor might offer a little more fantasy upside in a more favorable matchup if he were to get the start. That's Saquon Barkley's on the board. Brian Robinson Jr. rushed 10 times for 31 yards and brought in both targets for 25 yards and a touchdown in the Commanders' win over the Falcons on Sunday. Robinson encountered tough sledding on the ground against the feisty Falcons front, but he found the end zone as a receiver for the first time since week 1 on an impressive 24-yard catch and run early in the third quarter. The second-year back is now in a 3-game funk as a returner, as he hasn't eclipsed 45 rushing yards in any contest during that span. Robinson's prospects might be a bit brighter in week 7, however, as Washington visits the struggling Giants. Robinson. To the bottom of the deck. All these empty names and faces. All these little places. Brings us to Evan Gray. Eric Gray. Played 1 snap on offense and gained 2 yards on his lone carry in Sunday's loss to the Bills. After gaining 26 yards on 13 touches, 12 carries, 1 reception, and Giants lost to the Dolphins in Week 5, Gray unsurprisingly saw his playing time take a drastic hit when New York welcomed back lead back Saquon Barkley back from a 3-game absence. The Giants didn't attempt to ease Barkley back in, as he took on a 79% snap share with 28 touches. With Barkley seeming to have come out of Sunday's night without any setbacks, he should serve as the Giants' bell cow moving forward, leaving few snaps available for the likes of Gray, Matt Breida, and Gary Brightwell. That's 2 for Barkley, 1 for Breida, 1 for Brightwell. Cager. Signed with the practice squad Thursday. The move came a day after Cager was waived by New York to make room on the active roster for guard tackle Justin Pugh. Cager had 2 catches for 17 yards on 24 snaps this season. Well, they're beefing up the line. Jamison Crowder played all 3 of his snaps on special teams in Sunday's win over Atlanta. After recording his first 2 catches of the season in the Commanders' Week 5 loss to the Bears, Crowder was phased out on offense Sunday while all of Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel, De'Ami Brown, and Byron Pringle played ahead of him at receiver. Crowder should continue to dress on most game days due to his duties as the Commanders' top punt returner. They all played ahead of him. So, McLaurin is on the board. Dotson is on the board. That's 2 for Curtis. De'Ami Brown is on the board. Byron Pringle is on the fucking board. Of all people, huh? This fuck. Sterling Shepard wasn't targeted while taking the field for just 1 of the Giants' snaps on offense in Sunday's loss to the Bills. Head coach Brian Dable talked of potentially expanding Shepard's role ahead of Week 5 action. And while the wideout ended up receiving a season-high 18 snaps in the Giants' loss to the Dolphins that week, his playing time trended back down again Week 6, now sitting at 1-5 on the season heading into Sunday's game against the Commanders. The Giants are quickly slipping from the playoff picture and may not have motivation to open up playing time for the 30-year-old Shepard at the expense of young wideouts Wan'Dale Robinson and Jalen Hyatt. Wan'Dale is on the board. Hyatt is on the board. Daniel Bellinger went without a target while playing 39 of the Giants' 77 snaps on offense in Sunday's loss to the Bills. Sunday's game marked just the second time all season that Bellinger failed to draw a target. Aside from the Giants' Week 4 loss to the Seahawks in which he exited due to injury, Bellinger has played at least 35% of the team's snaps on offense in every contest. However, so long as top tight end Darren Waller is available, Bellinger is likely to operate mainly as a blocker when he takes the field. Waller is on the board. Nothing for Pringle. Gary Brightwell. Active against Buffalo. That's old shit fucking news. De'Ami Brown failed to reel in his lone target across 11 snaps on offense in Sunday's win over Atlanta. Brown's 11 snaps tied his lowest total of the season. As the number 4 receiver on the Washington depth chart, Brown will have a limited role on offense, so as long as all of Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and Curtis Samuel are healthy. 2 for McLaurin, 2 for Dotson, 3 for Samuel. Turner, Jackson, Campbell. Paris Campbell played all 3 of his snaps on special teams Sunday in the Giants' loss to the Bills. For the first time all season, Campbell failed to log a snap on offense, as he was strictly limited to kick return duties in Week 6. Campbell's playing time has been steadily trending down since he logged a season-high 45 snaps in the Giants' comeback win over Arizona in Week 2. With his downturn in opportunities coinciding with Wan'Dale Robinson completing his return from ACL surgery and establishing himself as New York's top slot man. That's 2 for Wan'Dale. Bates. John Bates went without a target across 20 snaps on offense Sunday in the Commanders' win over the Falcons. Quarterback Sam Howell didn't look to involve his tight ends in Week 6, as the trio of Logan Thomas, Bates, and Cole Turner contributed for just 1 target across 69 snaps. Thomas continues to dominate the playing time among the position group, and so as long as he's healthy, Bates will be in store for a minor role. In the 4 games that Thomas has played without exiting early to injury, Bates has drawn just 3 total targets. Logan Thomas is on the board. Cole Turner is on the board. Sam Howell. That's 2 for Sam. Said Sam, where are you, sad Sam? Chris Rodriguez Jr. took 4 carries for 23 yards in Sunday's win over the Falcons. After missing the previous 2 games with an illness, Rodriguez returned and made his largest contribution of the year. Ryan Robinson doesn't look to be in imminent danger of losing the starting job, but Rodriguez is at least worth tracking in deeper leagues given that Robinson nor Gibson has done much on the ground this year. The Commanders face the Giants in Week 7. That's 2 for Robinson, 2 for Gibson. Matt Prater rushed 4 times for 13 yards and didn't catch his only target in Sunday's loss to Buffalo. Prater played over half of New York's offensive snaps in each of the previous 3 games, with Saquon Barkley out due to an ankle injury. But his role unsurprisingly shrank with Barkley back in action Week 6. Prater saw the field for just 18 of the Giants' 77 offensive snaps and didn't make much of an impact with a long gain of 6 yards. This volume continues to be the norm for the veteran back whenever Barkley is able to suit up. Prater wasn't very productive even when filling in for Barkley's absence, so there's little appeal to rostering him in fantasy except as an unexciting stash. Eesh. They kind of shit all over him just now, didn't they? It's 1 more for Barkley. Jalen Hyatt caught 3 of 4 targets for 21 yards in a Sunday night loss to the Bills. Hyatt played on 73% of New York's offensive snaps, the highest mark of his career thus far. His 3 catches also were a campaign high, though he was able to turn the receptions into only 21 yards. The rookie looked like he could emerge as the Giants' much-needed deep threat when he caught 2 passes for 89 yards Week 2 against Arizona. But his other 5 receptions this season have gone for just 31 combined yards. While the increased snap count Sunday is an encouraging sign for his outlook going forward, the Giants' passing game as a whole has struggled this season, and Hyatt has yet to put up the type of production that should inspire confidence in fantasy managers. Eesh. Yeah. Isaiah Hodgins went without a target while playing 18 of the Giants' 77 snaps on offense in Sunday's loss to the Bills. Though Hodgins was credited with a start after opening the game on the field for the Giants' first possession, he ultimately finished 4th among New York's receivers in returns of playing time. With snap shares of 40% or lower in 3 consecutive games, Hodgins appears to have moved into more of a depth role, while rookie third-round pick Jalen Hyatt has been seeing more work at his expense. For Hyatt. Giants D. Johanna Dotson failed to bring in his only target in the Commanders' win over the Falcons on Sunday. The speedster saw Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel combined for 10 receptions, 123 yards, and a touchdown on 15 targets, making his lack of production all the more glaring. There were hopes that Dotson and fellow second-year pro Sam Howell would embark on a parallel interconnected tracks of success during the 2023 season, but the former sports a modest 17-140 line on 31 targets through 6 games and has been under 40 receiving yards in 5 consecutive contests. Dotson's next opportunity to begin altering the course of the season for the better comes in a Week 7 divisional road matchup with the Giants. That's Howell. 3 for Howell. 3 for McLaurin. 4 for Samuel. Graham Gano does not carry an injury designation into Sunday's game versus the Commanders. Gano showed up in the Giants' injury report Wednesday with a knee injury, but it's evidently not severe enough to hold him out of game action Week 7. He hasn't lacked opportunities in 2023, but he struggled somewhat to convert on longer attempts through 6 games. Antonio Gibson took 3 carries for 15 yards and caught his lone target for a 1-yard touchdown in Sunday's win over Atlanta. The touchdown was his first of the season, with Gibson playing more than 1/3 of Washington's snaps most weeks, but rarely seeing more than a handful of touches. He and the Commanders face the Giants Week 7. Joey fucking Sly made his only field goal attempt in all of his extra point tries in Sunday's win at Atlanta. Sly's toughest task of the day was a 37-yard field goal after the first drive of the game, and he drove it dead center between the uprights. He has struggled somewhat on longer kicks through 6 games this season, but that might not matter much when Washington travels to take on a weak Giants defense, Week 7. Commanders D. Logan Thomas. The upper echelon. Logan Thomas caught his lone target for a 2-yard gain in Sunday's win over Atlanta. Thomas saw his least 3 targets in each of his previous 4 games this year, including 11 the week before in a loss to Chicago. He should see multiple targets Week 7 against the Giants, but it is an especially trustworthy fantasy option, even after a solid start to the season. He's in play. Fucking guy's in play. Darius Slayton caught 4 of 6 targets for 69 yards in Sunday's loss to the Bills. Slayton was the Giants' leading receiver Sunday ahead of finishing 3rd on the team in targets, with Tyrod Taylor under center instead of Daniel Jones. The veteran wideout has yet to score a touchdown through 6 games after scoring just twice across 16 games in 2022. Slayton is still entrenched as the starter for the 1-5 Giants, but his fantasy value will continue to be limited until the entire offensive unit improves its play, starting with Week 7 matchup against the Commanders next Sunday. That's 2 for Taylor. Brisset from DeVito. Hey, Tommy DeVito, back to the practice squad. DeVito operated as Tyrod Taylor's backup at quarterback in Sunday's narrow loss to the Bills. If Daniel Jones is unable to go in Week 7 versus Washington, DeVito could once again be elevated to the active roster. 3 for Taylor. Wan'Dale fucking Robinson. Full participant practice Thursday. This is his first full practice on Thursday all season. Another hint Robinson is getting more comfortable after tearing an ACL last year. He's seen at least 5 targets in each of his 4 games this year, including a season-high 8 with 8 catches and 62 yards in the 14-9 loss against Buffalo on Sunday. Robinson has run routes at 3/4 of the Giants' quarterback dropbacks in competitive situations this past week, emerging alongside tight end Darren Waller as the favorite target for quarterbacks Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor. The Giants haven't yet announced if Jones will make a second game when they miss a second game when they face the Commanders this Sunday. Waller, 2 for Waller, 4 for Taylor. Curtis Samuel secured all 4 targets for 42 yards and a touchdown in the Commanders' win over the Falcons on Sunday. He also rushed once for no gain. The versatile wideout scored for the second consecutive game on a 7-yard touchdown grab just past the midway point of the third quarter. Samuel has at least 4 receptions in 3 straight contests going into a Week 7 road battle against the Giants. And finally, Darren Waller finished with 5 receptions on 8 targets for 43 yards in Sunday's loss to the Bills. Waller was able to suit up for Sunday's primetime matchup after picking up a groin injury in last week's loss to Miami. The 29-year-old did not appear limited by his injury, producing his 3rd game with 5 or more receptions this season. Quarterback Tyrod Taylor nearly connected with his tight end for a touchdown in the closing moments of Sunday's loss, but the pass went off Waller's outstretched fingertips before hitting the grass, fucking ruining my goddamn chance to win. The play did draw a pass interference flag, but the Giants squandered the ensuing play as time expired. Waller will now attempt to score that elusive first touchdown of 2023 when the Giants host the Commanders next Sunday. It's 5 for Tyrod. Would you look at that shit, huh? No stacks, 20 lineups. All right. Who do we like? Definitely like Barkley. We like Scary Daddy. We like Sam to bust himself back. We really love Tyrod Taylor. That motherfucker came up a lot. Could be his improvement game. Waller we like. Waller, Samuel we adore. He just kept coming up. Wandale we adore. Slayton, Thomas, Commanders, Sly, Gibson, Gano, Dotson, Giants, Hodgins. Hyatt came up a couple of times. We like him. Diami, Bellinger, nobody else. All right, over to the captains. Got to make 20 captains, so who's not making the cut here? Who ain't captain material? Nope, 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 no, no. No Hyatt, no Hodgins, Giants, no. Dotson, no. Gano, no. Gibson, no. Sly, no. Commanders, yeah, you got to consider that one. Thomas, yes. Slayton, Slayton, he was involved. Samuel, Waller, Robinson, Taylor, Jones is out. Howell, definitely. McLaurin, definitely. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 captains. We got to pull Daniel Jones from the flex so he's not popping up in the lineups. That is that, children. Do it. Do that shit. Do that shit right. What do we got? Let's see what we got in terms of captain. Who's the most popular captain? Sam Howell, 50% of lineups comes up as the captain. Look at that shit. We got Barkley, and everybody else is just ones. It's 10 captains, and then Sam Howell gets the bulk. I want to see what all the 6 cards are looking like. Giants defense against the captain. Look at that shit. Barkley, McLaurin, Gano, Dotson. Barkley, McLaurin, Sly, Dotson. Barkley, Samuel, Robinson, Dotson. Dotson. I like to see what they're doing at the other captains, so let's go through all the Howell captains first. Linking him up with his running back, Dotson's. A lot of Dotson. McLaurin. Or Sam. Let's see in the flex. What's going on in the flex? Who's the most popular flex? Dotson. 19 fucking lineups. You got Dotson? Jesus. Barkley comes. Oh, no. Yeah. Barkley's in 18 lineups. Giants defense is in 17 lineups. Howell's 10. It's McLaurin 7. Samuel 7. But he's 7s. Oh. Wow. Owen Wilson. Pause on your video, you'll see these lineups. Barkley, there we go. Barkley at the captain. Howell, Samuel, Robinson, Dotson, Giants. Interesting. Wow, they just thrown the Giants defense in there. Wandale. Brian Robinson. Curtis Samuel at the top. Barkley, Howell, Robinson, Dotson, Giants. Ah! Yeah. McLaurin, Commanders D. What they got there? Double defense. Look at that shit. Logan Thomas. Tyrod Taylor. Darren Waller. Darius fucking Slayton. That's a risky one right there. Well, I like it. See how it plays out. Fate, faith. Decide our fortune. Jada, but let's keep that there. So got this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Taking a little break. Gotta take a little voice break. Know what I'm saying here, boy? That Medina's a monster, man. Funky Cold Medina. Funky Cold Medina. All right, rock and roll. May fate and faith decide your fortune if you should win. Blow your money right here on the new Pharaoh's Lounge Kickstarter. Peace, love, war.